Hey, blessings. Sending light and love to everyone. Um, I wanted to discuss a little bit about the difference between your national nationality and your religion, your religious beliefs. And there's a clear distinction. There's a clear difference between the two. But I believe that, especially here in the Americas, um, more so with the melanated community. Some people like to refer to us as black. So many different titles, black, African American, before Negro, Afro American, colored. All these titles that are just frivolous. It's blasphemy, disrespectful. And I believe that, no, I know that we were infiltrated on, and we were set up to be confused so that we continue to look outside of ourselves and not know who we are. In 1492, we were not brought over here on slave ships. That's a lie. Now, granted, there were some people that were brought over here. There were. But the majority of the melanated indigenous, copper people of this land were already here. This is the secret that they don't want you to know. That's why they shred documents. That's why they misidentify us. It's all a game. All of it. But you have to understand and understand what's happening and rise above it. And we have to do it collectively. But we first have to go within and work on ourselves. You have to understand that this is the new world for a lot of foreigners all over this planet. So the ones that are indigenous to this land, they have to keep you blind to the fact of who you are. Because if you find out and know who you are, they're going to have to grant you sovereignty to this land. And do they want to do that? Of course not. This is the land of milk and honey. So why would they do that? That's going to take money out of their pocket. That's going to kill their legacy. Even though it's clear as day that they're not even from here. We have to understand and understand once again that you have to free yourself mentally. We have been mentally enslaved to think and to believe a certain thing. History has been whitewashed. And always remember, skin folk ain't always kinfolk. There's always agents on the inside. If you look at any association, any group, there's always someone on the inside. Always. So, we have to get away from these these religions as it pertains to them describing you in reference to who you are. Your religion is just your religious belief. So if you're Muslim, you follow that faith. There's a doctrine, there's a respect, there's laws within that religion that you have to abide by. If you're a Christian, the same. And the list goes on and on. And you have a choice to either be a part of that religion or not. But your nationality, you have no choice on that. It's who you are. It's embedded in your DNA. If you're indigenous to a land, if you have sovereign to a land, then foreigners can try to mislead you, can try to lie to you, can try to colonize you, can try to even conquer you. But there's this one thing called karma. What goes around comes around. And I'm going to tell you, karma is a bitch. And what you're seeing right now, the things that are happening on this planet, it's a clear distinction of the lies and the deception that have been bestowed upon the people, not just here in America, but all over the planet. We've been all led to believe a blatant lie. And you have to realize that it is time to wake up. The planet, I mean, she's changing. And if you don't see it, then it's probably because you're too absorbed in technology. You're probably in your phone 24/7. And I'm not going to sit here and say that there's anything wrong with utilizing technology. I mean, by all means, I use it. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm using it now. So I'm not going to sit here and say that there's anything wrong with using it, but don't allow it to use you. And you have to sometimes disconnect from it and go out in nature. You know? We are all here as spiritual beings having a human life experience. And trust and believe we are all not the same. We are all not the same. Okay? We all have different purposes. And we're just different DNAs, different brain masses, different size pineal glands. Some of us have the capability of using the left side of our brain, the left hemisphere. Some use the right. Some have the capability and they tap in and they use both. I mean, this is so vast as it pertains to us as a civilization. But here in the Americas, specifically, the so-called Indians are I and I. And we weren't called Indians. If you could just take a step back, right? And take a bird's eye view. Take a step back. You go back 5, maybe 6 generations. Let me know what tribe you're a part of in Africa. I'll wait. But I guarantee you, if you go back about 5 or 6 generations, you'll probably come to realize that you're probably Choctaw, Seminole, Cherokee, like myself. And the list goes on and on. What, you think just because they whitewashed other parts of the world and their history that they didn't do it to use here in the Americas? Hmm? Hmm. There's melanated beings all over this planet who are indigenous to this land and to this planet. That's just the reality. It's the truth. It's the truth. As indigenous people, we have the 9 ether genetic um, components that connect us to not even just Mother Nature, but to the sun and to the universe. They know our genetics. They know who we are. Thus the reason why there's plasma clinics and facilities in our communities, and why they have to get their hands on melanin. Use your mind and start to think. We have always been here in the Americas and on this planet. And we will always be here. We're not going anywhere. Listen and listen clearly. We have just scratched the surface of what we're capable of being as a people. And this isn't to discredit anybody else. But you know what? I'm sick and tired of us. I'm sick and tired of us being taken advantage of, being lied to, being misled, being told that we're from over here, we're from over there, we're from over here, we're this, we're labeled that, our names, our groups is this, that, whatever, whatever. I'm tired of this shit. I'm over it. You have to really dive deep. And this is also for my melanated brothers and sisters abroad. The only way we are going to rise, and the only way we're going to stop getting taken advantage of, is if we rise our group consciousness, we identify with who we truly are, and stop letting people outside of us tell us who we are. Stop getting your information and your knowledge from outsiders and foreigners. They don't know you better than you know you. Tap in. Go within. Connect to your ancestors. Connect to the Most High Creator. And you will get all the answers that you need. But stop looking outside of yourself. And stop looking for answers from people that don't relate to you as a being. They only know limited information, and I'm not blaming the modern day white person or Caucasian. You don't know. You are just as blind as we are. You are just in the dark as we are. But as you wake up and you get enlightened, things will just come to you. You'll just get downloads. And the truth will set you free. But to the Caucasians, the six ether beings, you benefit from white supremacy. You benefit from being called white, even though you could most likely be German or from Scotland or from Poland. You benefit from that because white and black is a status. And everybody abroad knows this except for the melanated beings here in the Americas. April Fools. We have been played for as a fool so that the people can harvest our energy and feed off of us. When are we going to wake up and see that the trick has always been on us? And it's time to stand up and take it back. Take your sovereignty back. Take your spirituality back. Tap in. When you tap into your powers spiritually, I'm talking spiritually, forget the whole physical aspect. Genetically, we already know how physically strong we are. But we still have to tap in spiritually, because it's not going to matter how strong we are physically. If we're not connected spiritually, it's over. It's over. The spiritual world is more real than this physical. They know this. This is ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom. Activate the left and right hemisphere of your brain. Decalcify your pineal gland. Stop depending so much on these different religions. There's thousands of different denominations of different religions out there. Granted, I'm not knocking anybody who is religious. To each their own. I have family members that I love dearly that have their religious beliefs. And I love them the same. But you got to get to the foundation of who you are and where you're sovereign to. Stop using those terms like black. Black is not recognized in this U.S. government. This U.S. government isn't even a government. It is a corporation. It is a business. They make money off of us, our Social Security, our birth certificates. This is a joke. Wake up. We are being played for. All of us. Not even just the melanated beings here in America, but all of us. But the joke, the bigger joke is on us, because they are doing it to us on our own land. And they made you to believe and think that they brought us all over here on slave ships. Answer me this question. All right. Let's say you live in a melanated community right now. Okay. And let's say, I don't know, 60 or 7 police officers. And no disrespect to the police officers. I know there's some great ones out there. I'm just using this as an example. I just want to hear your feedback. But let's just say 60 police officers come into your neighborhood. All right. And say, hey, yous are our slaves. And we're about to take you in all these paddy wagons. And you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. All right. We're going to put you in these paddy wagons, and we're moving y'all to another part of the city, or another part of the state, or another part of the country, or another part of the world. And you're going to be a slave, and you're going to work for us. What are you going to do? Are you going to be like, oh, okay, massa, and you're going to put your hands out? Or are you going to rise up? and say, yeah, you try if you want to. It's one thing when you do something and you know it's wrong. All right? Because if you're doing things that are wrong and you have bad intentions, well, then that's different. Karma is real and it touches all of us. But if you have a good heart and you're not out here doing any ill will, right? And someone comes and forces you into slavery, you're telling me you're going to sit here and you're just going to allow them to do it? I know for a fact you ain't doing that with me. And if there's about 1,000 other brothers that feel exactly like how I feel, it's going to be hard for y'all to get us up in some paddy wagons or on some ships and ship us somewhere. Y'all better be ready, because that fight going to be crazy. And they know this, but it's not about what you know, right? It's not about what you know. It's about what you can implant into someone's psyche, into someone's mindset. If we can make people believe this particular narrative, we already have them beat mentally. We don't have to physically fight all of them. We can put them against themselves. We already have them mentally. Let them off themselves. Let them whatever. You get it? It's like you have to, the only way you're going to be powerful is if you know thyself and you really tap in spiritually. Because the power is within. The only reason why we kept getting put to the bottom of the totem pole is because we're doing things that aren't organic to who we are. We're fighters. We can fight. We're warriors. We have that warrior mentality, but that's not where our power lies. Our power lies in our spirituality. They disconnected us from who we are. And then they had us praying, which I don't even like the word praying. You're praying on something, like, anyway. But they have us here in the Americas, a lot of us praying to this Jesus that looks like them. Now I'm just focusing on the Christian faith because that's what I grew up in and that's what I understand and I overstand. So growing up, they had me praying to a white Jesus, blonde hair, blue eyes, looks like the same people that are oppressing my people. And then every month we had to basically eat the bread. We had to eat bread and drink juice. So it's communion is what they called it. And it was based off of eating the flesh of Jesus and drinking his blood. If you don't call that a ritual, that sounds crazy. I don't know what you call it. You have to really look and see what's happening. You also have to watch what you say and choose your words wisely. The English language has a bunch of spells in it. Live spelled backwards is evil. Lived spelled backwards is devil. Dog spelled backwards is God. The list goes on and on. You have to really be careful on what you say, because you can be cursing yourself and your blessings and other people and not even know you're doing it. Use your mind. I'm not telling you you have to remove yourself from religion, because that's your belief. But you gotta go deeper, and you have to find the foundation and the root of who you are. Talk to your older elders. Find out your lineage. Find out your nationality. Find out your sovereignty, because that will liberate you and that will free you from the mental bondage and the mental enslavement. This is the only way. And then go within. Go out in nature. Allow that sun to hit you. Stop walking around barefooted. I mean, with shoes on. Walk around barefooted. Ground yourself to Mother Earth. Grow out your hair. For my beautiful melanated sisters, stop wearing those hair extensions. Your hair is a natural antenna that reaches to the sun and to the Most High. And you're wearing other people's hair. You are not going to connect. And the ones that still connect with wearing extensions and weaves, you are very intuitive. So imagine if you took all that off and just grew your hair out. You're already very intuitive. So let's start to change our ways, especially as a melanated community. Here in the Americas, as well as abroad, we have to come together. I'm not sitting here and saying we all have to believe in the same thing, but we're going to have a mutual respect for one another. We're going to have to learn how to work together. The Asians, they know how to do it. The Europeans, they know how to do it. The people from India, those Indians, they know how to do it. There's a lot of people that know how to do it, but for whatever reason, these same groups of people want to keep us in the dark. Well, guess what? That technology, this technology that you're using, those minerals that you're taking from the Republic of Congo, guess what those minerals are doing? The same thing that's making you your millions and your billions of dollars and giving you your technology and everything. Look what it is doing. It is helping to wake up I and I. It is helping to wake up the melanated diaspora. You thought you could continue to take from Africa, from that beautiful continent? You thought you would be able to continue to take from that, and that it wasn't going to at some point backfire? There's still people, my melanated beings, as well as my white and Asians and other beings that are on this planet that actually have good spirits and good souls. For y'all, this is no disrespect towards y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. But a lot of y'all ancestors really made it hard for mine. And I'm talking about my recent ancestors. Now, I ain't talking about my ancient and my cosmic ancestors. Oh, they had it together. Those were some powerful beings. But I'm talking about the last maybe 6-7 generations. But my DNA goes deep. My genetics go deep. But I'm at 30 minutes. I think I said enough. I come from a piece of love and light, but I do come from a place of enlightenment, and I have to help wake my people up. That is my purpose. That is my job. I have to wake me up. I have to continue to work on myself. But as I obtain wisdom and knowledge, divine wisdom and divine knowledge, I have to give that to my people and to just people in general. The truth is the truth. You have to acknowledge it. But blessings and love. And this is your boy, Mr. Food for Thought. And I'm out.